Hello dear viewer, who you gonna call? Murdoch X here with a collection update for the month of July in the year 2020. First up, we have Shadow Man 2 Second Coming. This game was a mystery to me when I saw the game case. I have never heard of Shadow Man, but it got a sequel. I went in with no expectations and I got lost because the game is dark, so let's talk about this for a moment. Dark games are difficult to see on modern televisions. I believe this is because they were built for CRT televisions, which are brighter, but I might be wrong. I turned up the in-game brightness setting and it was still difficult to see some areas, but it was manageable. There are other games from this era that have given me problems. Rule of Rose is also a big offender, as well as most of the horror games. Be prepared to adjust your television's brightness setting. A nice feature that this game does have is widescreen mode. I love finding games that have progressive scan or widescreen mode. Unfortunately, an option that this game is missing is the ability to invert controls on the X coordinates. I kept flipping the inverse switch, but it's only for up and down, not left and right. This is a minor complaint though. What we have is a third-person action brawler beat 'em up with weapons that's based on a comic book. You can attack with your left hand or right hand, and each can be equipped with items like a crowbar or a nail gun. Shadow Man Second Coming has interesting gameplay, but where it shines is in the storytelling.
The time has come, my little friends, to pay the price for your betrayal. Game! Nice try, little man. But not nice enough. Come to me, you son of a bitch! Shit! So it ends, Thomas. And soon in the skies the star will brightly shine. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
The PlayStation 2 has a nice library of games aimed at adults, and while I'm not much into brawlers, I love this dark storyline and the gameplay here feels unique. I was excited when I noticed that there's a backhand punch move, very Bruce Lee. One last piece of trivia about this game: it got into some trouble when it offered money in exchange for advertising space on tombstones. Next up is Spider-Man Web of Shadows. There are different versions of this game depending on which platform you play it on, and the PlayStation 2 version is not at all like the PlayStation 3 version. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. I couldn't figure out how to swap in the other players, the web swinging was frustrating, and the first boss kicked my butt over and over. This is my fault. I should have checked the controls or read the manual, but I thought I was going to be playing a 3D open world Spider-Man game like the other PS2 Spider-Man titles. This game came out in 2008, which makes it a late release. I understand that porting the original game down may not be possible, but selling a two-dimensional platformer while advertising a 3D open world game is not cool. Just use a different name. I'm sure that I'm overreacting, but it was disappointing. If you can get over that this is a two-dimensional platforming brawler with Spider-Man moves, it is a well-regarded game. Maybe start off with easy mode instead of normal though, or friendly rather than amazing as they call it. Maybe I picked a hard mode. I don't know. I'm grumpy with this game and I don't want to play it anymore. Gungrave. This game just oozes adrenaline. It has sweet non-stop action and amazing anime cutscenes. Plow through the enemy with guns and a swinging coffin. At least that's how it feels at first. The playable characters move slow, but this can be forgiven. The problem is, the longer you play, the more you begin to realize that this is a game where you just mash some buttons and push through stages. They're nice stages, and I want to love this game for all of its charm and polish, but it doesn't take long to figure out that there's no strategy required. It's too bad. This one is so charming. I want to love it.
Your appointment to FEMA should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the senator.
I take it he was agreeable?
He didn't really have a choice.
Has he been infected?
Oh yes, most certainly.
This plague, the rioting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
The final new game added to the collection this month is Deus Ex The Conspiracy. I've had this game for a long time, but was too intimidated to play it. I've heard people talking about the wonder and joy of Deus Ex for years, but never knew the details. This PlayStation 2 version of the game is a port of the PC game. Deus Ex on PC won several awards, including Best PC Game of All Time according to PC Gamer in 2011. In Deus Ex, you have several ways to solve problems, branching paths to get through the maps as well as branching paths to get through the story. There is also a selection of skills that can be upgraded as experience is earned, which adds variety to playthrough possibilities. Deus Ex is a bit like a cyberpunk crime Skyrim. One of the big downsides is that skills like lockpicking just require the player to hold a button for a few seconds, but this game got so much right, and this is a solid port. I did not make it into this game as far as I would like, but I am very curious to see what else it has to offer. Also, I like how it has X in its name. 10 out of 10 for the name. With 4 new games added to the collection, this brings my total up to 741 out of 1,795 PlayStation 2 games released here in North America. 41.2% of a complete collection. We're getting there, friend. Thank you for watching. My stack of unplayed games is a little bit shorter than it has been, so these collection updates will probably be more like this one with less games for the next few months. Who knows? But I will keep making them, and please consider subscribing as I'm trying to make it to that 1,000 subscriber mark so that I can unlock the rest of the features that YouTube has to offer. Thank you.